It is awesome to be back playing this character. It's especially nice to be back with John, Greg Shapiro, Nathan Kahane, all the whole the whole OG Harold and Kumar team, and obviously John and Hayden, the two guys that wrote it. Their their writing is always really layered. In the first film, it was a film about burgers, but there was all this social commentary in it. The second one was political satire, but still a stoner movie. The third one is a little bit different because it takes place 6 or 7 years later. Um, the Harold's moved on, Kumar has not, and there's all this other nuance with the holidays. There's Santa Claus in it. So when I first read the script, I called them up and I just said, "This is as hilarious, if not funnier, than the first two." So Harold and Kumar have always been the underdogs, in my opinion. I think the John and Hayden and Cho would say the same thing. Is that there's an incredible amount of rooting interest for these guys because you don't really see guys like this on film a lot, but they're guys who are your best friend growing up, and so it's an interesting dynamic. The audience immediately finds them likable because they're relatable. They're not, they don't look like models or they don't have perfect body. I mean, I do, but no, they don't have perfect bodies. They're not really smart. They're not really stupid. So the writing doesn't talk down to the audience, I think. John Cho is awesome to work with. We are very good friends in real life, which most people are happy to hear. John, I did not know John before we shot the first movie, and one of the things that we realized very quickly when we were shooting Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle up in Toronto was that in real life I am much more of a Harold and he's much more of a Kumar, and we thought that was really funny because at work we would always be the characters, but after work, I'd rush home and try and rehearse whatever we needed to rehearse for the next day's work, and I'd go over the script, and John would knock on my door and be like, "Hey man, let's go grab a beer." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? We have to be up in a couple hours. I wanna make sure the scene is good." And he'd already prepared and was very relaxed about it, and I was more neurotic and wanted to focus only on the work. So by the end, we kind of switched and balanced each other out, but in real life, that's what you'll find. John is much more extroverted, I think, and it's probably the exact opposite of most Christmas movies that are out there. So if you want a wholesome movie that you can see with your family or that you can take your little cousins to, this is absolutely not that movie. Uh, and that's, I think, the kind of the magic of it, that the it's just wrong to do a Harold and Kumar Christmas movie. Let's be honest. It is wrong to make these types of absurd, obnoxious, vulgar jokes about a holiday that brings people together. But it's done again in a way that's not rude, uh, but that's done in a way that I think we can only get away with because people like Harold and Kumar as characters. So we take certain creative liberties, and I think people have fun with that.